respeto ng kailangan. Okay. We have 30. Are you okay na?
Yeah,
You go live?
yeah. I guess so.
You just need to speak louder kasi the hissing sound happens when there's like a space. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. You're hanging out here on Some Sounds Good, Mellow 94.7. And today, well, this afternoon, we are graced by our friends from Imiko, and we're here to talk about immigration. And if you plan to travel to Australia, well, I think they're the people that we need to talk to. Please welcome to the show, Miss Kyla Cruz from Imiko.
Hi, Indy. Thank you for
Hello.
having us.
Of course, nice to have you guys here and talk about immigration for a change.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people like to travel these days, and there are many travel expos happening around. And of course, along with that, there'll be some immigration issues also, because not all the countries are free to travel to, right? Especially for us Filipinos.
That's right.
So Imiko is one of the well, you're basically in the forefront of helping out people, especially if they want to travel to Australia.
That's right.
Right. So can you tell us more about Imiko?
Imiko Consultancy is an Australian-based company. So we are migration consultancy, assisting everyone, not only Filipinos, with regards to their visa issues, or if they need assistance with migration appeals, refusals, cancellation, or just merely an advice if they want to consider Australia as their future home.
Ooh. Because I heard that if you plan to study in Australia, you really need a lot of money, like the show money. That's always an issue for a lot of those who would want to go.
Okay, so basically, the only reason why the Department of Immigration is asking for money as a part of your requirement is just to show that you can afford to study in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to clear a few things. For some universities, if you want to study in university in Australia, they want to make sure that you can afford their not only their tuition fee but living in Australia. So there's like a living cost, a computed living cost for Australia. But for colleges, as we speak now, like the current law now, they don't require an amount, but you just have to prove that there you have enough money to finance your stay and study in Australia. Unlike when we were in level 3, Philippines was level 3, you have to follow the steps, like you have to have certain amount, like at least $50,000 or $40,000. But for now, there's no strict amount. You just have to show that you have the capacity to pay, and of course, an evidence where you got those money. So either from work or from a business. So that's it.
Ooh, okay. How about for those who just want to visit Australia?
So, like I always say, Australia is for everyone. So if you want to visit Australia, Australia is a very nice tourist destination.
That's right.
However, Australia requires a visa for everyone who will visit their country.
Are they as strict as the U.S.?
I'm not entirely sure. I can only speak for Australia. But I think the only reason why they require all these requirements, like your work, you have to have all the, like we call it strict with regards to all this long list of requirements, is because they want to make sure that Australia is also protected, the border's protected. But they don't say no to people who have really good intentions and genuine intention of visiting Australia.
Okay. So basically, that's to say that they're less strict than the U.S. because sometimes for no reason they would just reject people who
Yes.
just want to visit.
With Australia, when they refused a visa application, they will explain why.
Okay.
Why, unlike other countries, they just just reject your application. But for Australia, they will explain why. And the refusal doesn't mean that you cannot reapply. All it means is that at the time of application, your requirements or your all your documents are not sufficient.
Okay. Did not meet
Yes,
the-
but it doesn't mean anything like negative about you. Like sometimes we get scared that once we get refused, we don't want to reapply again, or that's forever gonna be like a history. Like, oh, I will never ever enter Australia because I got rejected. You can always reapply.
So what's the turnaround time for the application process? Because I know there are certain seat sales and they just want to grab
Yes.
the first thing that they see, but that they don't have the visa yet.
So what happens is there's actually no time frame.
Okay.
If, for example, today you get a refusal letter because of insufficiency of documents, tomorrow, if you feel like you're confident, as long as you're gonna submit more documents to support your application, then that's fine. But if you're gonna submit the same set of documents, same application, then of course you would know the result straight away.
Okay, so here is basically where you come in and advise your clients what would be the best documents
Yes,
to
that's
file.
true.
Or
So when you're applying for a visa in Australia, you can actually do it yourself. The Department of Home Affairs, they have their own website. You just have to create your IMI account. However, that's for everyone. But for us migration agents, so we are an Australian registered migration agent. So we are authorized by the department to give advice, and we have access as well to the Department of Immigration references. So we make sure that we follow the law. So for other people, like if it's my first time to apply for a tourist visa, I will look at the website and then just see, oh, they just want the name, they want proof of this and everything. But for us, there's always an explanation why they're asking all this. And you can't just submit documents that, for example, they requested for a certificate of employment. And then so you just did submit it. But in reality, if you've just started the job, you're considered as high risk. So you have to know, like, at least you've stayed in that job for a year or 2 years. You're earning a substantial amount of salary, and so on and so forth. So people don't realize that. They just think that, okay, click, it's easy. But because it's meant to be user friendly, it's not meant to be scary. But for us migration agents, we know that why they're asking this. So we're so careful about the documents we submit. And we even if our clients forward documents, we make sure we scrutinize it, like details, dates, how much, when was it signed, and all that.
okay. So if I plan to migrate to Australia, what's the first thing that I should do?
So the first thing to do when you plan to migrate in Australia is that check your CV first. That's the first thing I would ask my clients. Send me your CV, because the whole migration is a very broad topic. There's
Do
so
you
many
have to have
pathways.
like a relative in Australia or a sponsor so that you will have an easier.
Okay, so there's different pathways for migration in Australia. You can be a family sponsored. So we're talking about permanent migration. It can be family sponsorship. It can be through your skill, like your profession, or it can be through business. So for business, you have to have an amount of money and a business proposal, a plan that you want to set up there, or if you have a contact. For family, you either be a parent, and there's a computation. You have to have more kids in Australia, so you can be warranted for a parent visa, or you're a spouse or a partner. You don't have to be married to be eligible for migration. Even if you've been together for a long time, but you're not married, you're considered a de facto or you're a child, whether you're a stepchild, you're adopted child, or a biological child. And I think most Filipinos will fall into the skilled migration. So for the skilled migration, unfortunately, your relatives doesn't have any bearing with the application.
Okay.
However, they will of course be there to support you either financially or offer their accommodation, or at least just be there to guide you when you reach Australia. For skilled migration, they will only focus on your education and your work. There's no bank account involved because people get scared when when they think about Australia, like, oh, it's too expensive to go to Australia. I always tell them that before you get scared about Australia and the cost, why don't we get assessed first? Meaning, let's assess your education here in the Philippines and then your work experience. Because I am a product of the skilled migration. I used to be a nurse. So I finished my degree here in the Philippines, and then I got assessed and got my registration in Australia. So they focus more on your education and your work.
I do believe that you have certain events that you go around and basically you try to do just that, help assess people also if they're interested at least in migrating to Australia. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
There are events. Do you have events coming up?
So we will be at the travel mega trade travel sale fair this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
This weekend already?
Yes, this weekend. And also for our upcoming events, I would suggest to visit our Facebook page, Imico Consultancy. So IMM for Mike, ICO, because we regularly hold seminars in Singapore, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and here in Manila. And I do give a free migration seminar, permanent migration seminar. So everyone's welcome to attend.
So basically, if they want to be convinced.
Yes.
So what are the jobs really that are booming in, well, for Filipinos at least, that they might consider?
Aside from nurses, so the hospitality, accounting, IT, trade. Basically, it's open for carpentry, chef, welder, even air condition mechanic, engineers. There's a long list, like hundreds and hundreds of professions welcome to migrate to Australia. But like here in the Philippines, like the welders here are far different from skilled workers in other countries, which is like really sad because they don't have that. They don't make as much here. That's true. So that's something I really want to focus in the future, because I really believe in how the Filipinos work. Like they take their work seriously. They're very good with what they do. So even if they're welders, unfortunately, welders don't get formal education here in in Philippines. Like in terms of their safety, yeah, they can do a good job with like welding and stuff, but it involves a lot of things like safety. You have to protect yourself. You have how to handle this and that. We're a bit behind on that, but I'm hoping that in the future there will be a way how our level of standards with regards to vocational, I call it labor jobs, will be the same. Because I've seen mechanics graduated in the Philippines, just worked in did some Tesla courses here, and now working in a very prestigious car companies in Australia. So it's possible, but I just wish that it will be more like for everyone, and not like people try to use other avenues to be in Australia. Like if you graduate from Tesla, they should be recognized straight away. So yes.
Yeah, because it's so hard for them to also to consider migrating whenever they think about, I only got to finish this much and I only work through experience, and I don't have formal training. So that already basically disheartens them from pushing for migrating to other countries that would provide them with
A better future. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I think at this time we just lack that bridge, and I hope one day Imiko will be that bridge to reach all the employers. Because the employers, because like I told you that I'm one of the skilled workers before, and I can see the response of the employers once they've seen you work. Because when you submit a piece of paper and email it or probably post it to your employer, they wouldn't know who you are. But once they meet you in person and then they've seen how you work, you would be surprised. What things they can do to help you. So that's what happened to me. I just did my job as a nurse. Wasn't expecting anything. Like migration, I was just on. I think I was on student visa that time, so I was just using the limited hours to work until I got. I was the first person that they want to sponsor. So those things. So I think just focus on what you do, and doors will open for you. So before you even get disheartened with like, oh, there's a long list, oh, I can't speak English, maybe just try it first. Because if you don't try, you wouldn't have 50% chance.
That's right. That's
right.
the first step, really.
Yes.
Like going out there and trying your luck.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
sometimes you just have to just a little push will do.
That's true.
And thank you for helping out people in situations like that they're not really they're not completely convinced that they have a better future outside the country, or just a little push would help. So
That's true.
so basically this weekend you'll be able to help out some people who are interested at least in considering Australia as their probably second home.
Yes.
Their new home. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Kyla.
Thank you, Indy.
And would you like to invite them once again to check out Imiko Consultancy?
Hi everyone. If you would like to know more about our services, Imiko Consultancy, you can visit our website www.imikoconsultancy.com or our Facebook page Imiko Consultancy. We do have 2 offices, one in Sydney and one in Cubao, Quezon City.